Coach, when you look at the season, what's your biggest disappointment and your biggest accomplishment from week 1 to week 12?
Well, I think just getting over the hump of some of the games that I think we were competitive in and just finishing them off. That would be the piece of building a program. I think that's a part of it. We'd like to take a couple more steps, but the thing that I've liked about the people in the program were establishing habits of how to work, how to do things, building a program. We're really happy at where we're at right now. I know the recruiting has picked up. We're starting to get more players in here, but the players that stuck it out have been great. I mean, if I told you some of the stories about guys when we walked into the building to how they've changed, not only as ball players, but as teammates and just program guys, there's amazing stories with it. And that's ultimately when you get into these games, you like to send those guys out as winners.
Coach, first time in 6 years, USF is going to back-to-back bowl games. I don't think you'd call it mission accomplished, but maybe mission progressing positively.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, nobody's goal is to be a 6-6 ball club, and I heard AG talk about it all the time. But you're working to establish things inside the building and in between the lines. And I think if people had an opportunity to go in there and what we're asking the kids to do day in and day out and what they're doing outside in terms of the academic piece of it, it's all starting to come together. It's just the piece of just getting over the hump. That is the next phase of this program, and it's not too far away. I think, but when we first got here, just the consistency, and now you're trying to build consistency. Now you're running players into the program. Now you're trying to develop. But there's this internal part of this is what we do day in and day out. And if we do this at a high level, then we are going to get over the hump. And we're still learning how to do that, but we're getting closer every day.
Coach, when you look at a defensive coordinator in college football, I like to compare it to the Commissar of Agriculture in the Soviet Union. You're not going to look good just because of all the rules favor the offense. How hard is it mentally to sit there and go, we gave up 17 or 20 points, but that's not a bad effort.
Yeah, well, obviously when we're not taking the approach of that, but we understand, you're dealing with the team we're playing right now, that they're explosive going to that. But I think the one thing that you have to put into play in terms of just getting possessions for our offense, I think that's back in the old days, it probably wasn't necessarily that, but getting the football, turnovers, explosive plays that you can make in the backfield, setting up somebody that they can score points. But we're working at that. The explosive plays, that have obviously been too many. There were quite a few the following or the year previous. And as we continue to grow, the more collection of us playing our scheme better, us continue to bring in really explosive players will lessen the points. So work in progress.
Coach, my last question, and thank you for your time today. Coaches give up so many holidays.
Yeah.
Ain't bad being in Hawaii for Christmas, though,
yeah, it's a good thing. It'll be different. It's a great place. You want to enjoy it as much as you can, and we're trying our best. The AG is, we went through the schedule yesterday, and there's time to do football, and then there's time to enjoy it because those kids have earned this. It's like we talked about beforehand, but to be there is going to be pretty special for a lot of these guys that haven't had a chance to experience it. I bring back some of the guys that I'm coaching, like Jalen Schuler is a good example of, wasn't fortunate enough to go to a bowl game. We went to a bowl game that was 3.5 hours away. So for his experience of that, and a lot of guys' experience, we're still in the state of Florida. It's I think this will be completely different. I think they'll have a blast.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.